It's been a couple years now since we aired our Throwback Thursday. Historic Commissioner Eugene Fernandez explains to us the inspiration behind his vast amount of costumes.
It's been 2 years since we started Throwback Thursday, and it wouldn't have been possible without Eugene Fernandez, who joins us here today to talk a little bit about that experience. Eugene, what was the inspiration behind Throwback Thursday and the costumes in your presentation?
It started in my childhood, to be honest with you, and the propensity for somebody to think costumes or getting into an act like that doesn't necessarily come with an acting career. No, it just has to be in your blood. Yeah. The first costume that I remember in my life was my father gave me a Christmas present, and it was a suit of armor. If you can imagine it. He made it with sheets of aluminum and rivets and whatever. So here I was, a 4-year-old boy in a suit of armor with a lance and the whole thing. So that started me off.
And so where do you get these costumes and the props?
Amazingly enough, the majority of the costumes that I utilize come out of my closet. I was in the antique business, I still am to a degree, and so I accumulated all of these things that are attractive to me. And so if I need a pirate's outfit, well, I just go to my closet and get it.
And so what are some of the most memorable moments that you've had on Throwback Thursday?
Well, to start off with, the memorable moment was when I first did it. And I remember back, it must be a year ago, that I showed up upon a scene, and we were doing the chapel at Mercy Hospital. Yeah. And I hopped out of my vehicle, and the photojournalist came out of hers, and she looked at me, and I was dressed as a priest. And she didn't give a hiccup. We just went on, and she says, nice, and we went onwards. And I was fearful that the station would say, no, Gene, you're getting too radical here. But it was accepted. The station liked it. The clientele liked it. I got all kinds of calls, so I says, okay, well then what's the next one?
And this is kind of a fairly different approach to storytelling, so what kind of brought that on?
One of the main reasons that I had in the development of this theme was that I wanted to put an inflection there that would be believable, that would embellish the history. In the Rio Grande Valley, we've got a tremendous amount of history, but wouldn't it be more believable if you did it in costume? So that right there is I wanted to penetrate into the audience's psyche and say, oh, Jean Lafitte is telling that story, or that priest, or whatever. So yeah, I agree. It's probably unique in broadcasting, but it's fun.
What do you think is the most important thing about telling the history of the Rio Grande Valley?
South Texas is unique in all of the state of Texas for its replete areas of history. And that's what I want to bring out. I want to bring out an in-depth coverage of those stories that are all mighty important so we can have pride in where we came from.
Gene, we want to thank you for everything that you do for the Rio Grande Valley and for the history, preserving history here. And as you usually tag out,
the rest is history.